What's going on, guys? It's Jamie here. Thank you very much for joining me in today's live. Super pumped to present this one to you guys. If you do happen to jump on, smash that heart button, drop a comment, let me know you're here. And the more engagement I can get, the better it is for everyone, mainly me, but also you guys. So if you're joining me via YouTube, by the way, I'd just like to say a very warm welcome to you as well. If this is the first time on the channel, my name's Jamie. I'm a full-time affiliate marketer, digital ad strategist. I'm a coach for a program with over 570 students. If you're wanting to learn more about affiliate marketing and from, I guess, a no BS approach, then feel free to smash the subscribe button or press it gently, really up to you. And don't forget to hit the like and leave a comment if you're interested in learning more, and I'll do my best to get to you as soon as I can with any questions that you may have. So anyway, with all that being said, I am going to present my screen. I've got a thing I'm going to take you guys through, and basically what it's going to do is give you guys a bit of an insight into the pathway that I guess tends to happen for a lot of us in affiliate marketing. So if you're brand new or you're relatively new to affiliate marketing and you're just kind of wondering how to fit all these pieces together and you're not really making traction, so to speak, then this should hopefully clarify a couple of points for you as well. Now, this is on the assumption that you do have a product already. If not, hit me up. I can probably point you in the right direction with a few things out there. If you do, then and you're looking at doing the organic stuff in particular, or even non-organic stuff will probably work quite the same way for that as well. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to go through this, and like I say, drop any comments, questions, or concerns along the way, and I'll get to those as I can. Right. Just give me a sec there, folks. Alrighty. Hopefully you guys can see that. Making sure I'm actually going live. Yes, appears to be the case. Good times. Good times. All right, cool. So hopefully you guys can see my screen, and hopefully you're going to be able to see the other screen I'm about to present here as well. So, all right, let's jump into it. Alrighty, so the lifestyle of most, the life cycle of most affiliate marketers, it tends to follow a bit of a pattern, and there's a couple of, I guess, psychological things I'm going to discuss in today's live that are going to hopefully help give you guys a bit of an aha moment as you're going through this. If at any stage you'd got any questions, like I say, just drop those below and I'll come back at the end. All right, so the normal stage of affiliate marketing tends to go like this. You get stuck in some sort of phase in your life. I know that was the case for myself back in 2011 when I got started. I know that's the case for a lot of people that I speak to, and obviously a lot of our affiliates that have gone on to do pretty good things. Is some sort of thing that's happened in their life that's made them search for other means of income. Next part of it is, of course, you start looking for opportunities. You jump online, and last time I checked, there was 3.7 billion results for how to make money online. And so a lot of people kind of get stuck at that stage and never actually lift off the ground at that stage, understandably, because there's so many options. So then somehow, magically, they find affiliate marketing. And it's usually because they've gone through the shit heap of other products and stuff like that out there. And, they're just kind of going, okay, well, I kind of understand a little bit more now. And then, the next step is trying to work out what programs are going to suit their needs best. And of course, there's a lot of really, really awesome programs out there, and they do jump into a program. And so what tends to happen is, because of the way that the affiliate marketing industry gets sold, which is, it's easy, done for you, passive bullshit income things, like, the problem is that it forms a sense of false belief for a lot of people. And that false belief is that they buy into that dream, the laptop lifestyle stuff. And don't get me wrong, yes, that can happen. And, there are people that are living that. But for the majority of affiliate marketers, the majority of people out there that get into this industry, it's not like that. You have to work. Like, it does involve a lot of work. And, a lot of people are like, oh, well, I want passive income. Yeah, you like, don't we all? But I guess the reality is that you need active income first. So you got to hustle your butt off to get to that stage where you can start building those assets that do provide the passive income, right? So like I say, there's a lot of false beliefs get formed in the initial stages, and then what that tends to lead on to is it's what I refer to as the pre-validation phase. I'm sure there's some sort of psychological term out there that's probably a little bit better, more accurate than the pre-validation phase. But what this is, and I've witnessed it quite often, is it's this thing where people never really launch properly. They never get over this sort of initial bump of like making that first sale, and it is the bloody hardest part of this entire journey, because you're just at that level where you want things to work, but you're just trying to glue all the pieces together, and it can be really pain in the ass. So the thing is that, and this is something that someone said to me a couple of years back, before I kind of had my big breakouts and stuff, and I was in a situation where I'd built years building up all this knowledge. I'd tried so many things. I'd done all sorts of random stuff online, but the reality was that it wasn't really clicking into place for me. And so I could see other people kicking ass and getting amazing results. In fact, the person in reference to this particular part of the conversation was cranking out 100K months with e-commerce. And so I was just blown away. Oh my God, I can't believe, there's so much money. And oh my God, that's amazing. And one of the things that he said to me was like, you see it, you kind of, I guess part of you believes it, but because you've never felt that but yourself, there's still an element of your mind that kind of doubts that it can be real. And I noticed this with a lot of affiliates jumping into this. They kind of see the numbers getting thrown around and they go, I want a 20, 30K month. That'd be bloody amazing. But then there's an element of doubt that pops in for most of us. So the thing I guess the question is then how do you get over this phase? What do you do to move beyond that and actually get cranking with your business and actually get some results and not sort of like give up and end up on the scrap heap? Right, there's a couple of things you can do. So if you are building a brand, and obviously, as you guys know, as some of you may know, I should say, I do majority of my business is done on Facebook organic marketing. I do also obviously do a lot on YouTube as well, plus run some ads, etc. But the majority of it is done right here on Facebook. So the thing is, though, if you're building a brand, what is going to make someone want to buy from you? And the answer to that is credibility. And of course, there's a few other factors there, but you need to manufacture your credibility. Now, don't think for a moment I'm saying that you need to be disingenuous with this and you need to oh, look at me, I just made $35,000 yesterday. Go me, I'm awesome. Doesn't really work like that, because people can read through your bullshit. Don't think otherwise. So how do you get over this? How do you manufacture your own credibility in a genuine way, authentic way? And so the answer to that is basically through your content. It is through doing things like being out there. It's about throwing caution in the wind and just going and making a big song and dance. Like, hey, I'm here. I'm doing the thing. This is me. I'm affiliate marketing now. And it feels bloody uncomfortable. I'm not saying that this is easy, by the way, but of course, if it was easy, then everyone would be doing it and kicking butt. But, there's only a small percentage of people that are really, really kicking butt. And, it's probably because they are out there and they've learned all this stuff, right? So, but there's in my mind, there's absolutely nothing stopping anyone from going out there and achieving some pretty damn awesome results. And I guess, I'm living proof of that as well. So you do that through your content, right? Like it's things like your lifestyle content. Lifestyle can be as simple as having dinner with your friends or family, or, anything of that nature, vacations you've been on. And the thing to bear in mind is that when people stumble upon your content, you form a bond with them. You form a bond with them through the way that you communicate, through the way you wave your hands around, in my case, probably the way that you use your voice, the way that you project, if it's written text, the way that you communicate through that, and obviously through your visual aids, such as images, like I say, the lifestyle stuff in particular. And what that does is you're effectively manufacturing the know, like, and trust factor of you as a brand. So the question to ask yourself is anyone going to buy through someone that they don't trust or like or feel like they know? And the answer is absolutely not. They're not going to do that. And so this is one way that you can do that. The other thing is that a lot of people get stuck on this, like, don't know how to put out content, I don't know how to put out value content. And the reality is that as you're learning stuff and you really understand it, and when you start producing that content yourself, you start regurgitating it in your own language, not plagiarizing or anything like that, but putting it out there, it solidifies your own knowledge as well. So it's not just about you going out there and going, okay, well, I learned what affiliate marketing is today. It seems like a pretty cool gig. It solidifies what it is for you by teaching others, right? So don't dismiss that in itself. The other thing is literally documenting what you're learning as you're going along and documenting your journey. Like, hey, had a shit day today, didn't get to do much, but here I am, I'm out there doing some stuff, and this is what I learned today, and I need to find efficiencies in my business because I'm running out of time to do the thing. that there is part of that journey and part of your story that people will start connecting with as they go through that. And the last part of it is showing results. And this is where a lot of newbies, they kind of fall over and they go, Jamie, easy for you to say, you've got results, man. Like, how do I get these bloody results? Why would people buy from me? Because I don't have credibility. Because you've got to manufacture your bloody credibility. That's why. So the question to ask yourself is, what is a result that you can achieve if you don't have one already? What is something that you can go out there and you can engineer somehow? Any result, whatever it is, right? And one of the answers is perhaps engagement. So what does engagement mean? For those of you that are unfamiliar with it, it's basically, if you look at, say, even my own profile, whatever, it's people commenting and liking and engaging with the content. If you don't know how to do that, I'm happy to do another training on that. It's not that complex. It's really just a matter of spending the time on the given platform, liking, commenting, all that sort of stuff with that content yourself, right? And what happens is you're invoking the law of reciprocity. What that means is that the more you give in terms of the engagement, the more people are going to see that and they're going to engage back. Plus, you're also dotting yourself all over the Facebook map, as it were. So the more stuff you can put out there, the more you're kind of showing everywhere. And that law of reciprocity is really powerful. Some people will feel, once they see your content, like, oh, yeah, I should probably engage that person, engage in my stuff. And so that means that you're throwing your content out there to more and more people. So then you've now got a result that is a result of sorts. And you take that result and you show it off. Who wants to see how I was able to get a 74% increase in my engagement in just 2 weeks? Drop a comment below. Guess what that gives you? This is the next part. This gives you the next part, which is, guess what? Inbound leads. If you do that and your audience is a bunch of new people and you've got all this engagement out of nowhere, that is your result. You've now got an audience to throw your offers in front of. Super bloody powerful. And so before I go any further, just to really dial this in as well, the other question is, well, how do you get the people? You go into groups, you go into pages, all that sort of stuff. And a lot of pundits out there are like shitting on that idea. Like, oh, yeah, it needs to be, how do you find the buyers? Well, you manufacture the buyers by doing this shit. You can't kind of bend around this and try and work out other ways. And you can to a certain degree, yes, I think, and not to completely contradict myself, but yes, there are certain people out there that are going to be more predisposed to buying certain things, all that sort of stuff. But the reality is, you manufacture the buyers out of your audience by going through this process, right? You manufacture your credibility. Right, so you start getting inbound leads, right? So you start off, one result might be getting engagement. Another result might be getting a couple of inbound leads. And this leads on to something else, which now you're getting a little bit more confident because you're like, okay, I'm not going crazy after all. This is actually working. And so the momentum is building. And so then you can start throwing offers out there. If you start getting like 20, 30, 50 comments and likes per post, guess what happens is when you throw an offer out there to your audience, you're going to get a lot more bites than if you've got no engagement whatsoever. Now, I must confess that engagement in itself is a vanity metric. It doesn't really dictate how much income you've got. In fact, case in point being myself, I've had probably my biggest month ever at the moment, this month at the time of recording this. And my engagement, I've had a great post a couple of posts ago. That was amazing. And then my engagement's turned to shit the last couple of posts. So, but I'm still making sales. Like, it doesn't stop that, right? So, it is it is a vanity metric, but it's something that you do need, especially in the start, to get your stuff out there and show that off to more people. And if you can make an offer, and it could be as simple as like, hey, I've got this free downloadable thing. Do you want to check it out? It's amazing. Drop a comment below. Boom. All of a sudden, you got a whole comment letter going, and you've now got more social proof and more credibility and more, I guess, confidence in the process. And so, a lot of people they tie their sense of the world in terms of the financial abundance that's out there to their own sense of worth when it comes to a high ticket product. And so a lot of the time they feel a bit nervous about pulling the trigger and asking for the sale when it comes to high ticket. And that's perfectly reasonable, by the way. Like it's we've probably, to a certain extent, a lot of us have gone through that. I'm just going to say all of us, but not everyone. And so what that means, though, is that if you're not feeling the mojo to say, hey, you've got this thing, and so you have $3,000, $5,000, $2,000, $1,000, whatever, you can throw out a low ticket offer, something that's $50. So surely you feel it feels a bit easier for you if you're starting out to throw out a $50 offer, $100, a $7 offer, whatever it is. And there's tons of affiliate products out there that are like that are $97, that are $100, $200, $500, whatever. And so when you've now got a couple of things happen, you've got credibility because you've got a bit of an audience to throw your stuff in front of. You've got some inbound leads because you've now gone and done the whole thing and got your bait posts out there. And you can throw some offers out to them. Like I say, if you don't feel confident in the process of selling a high ticket, then go for the low ticket first. Just throw it out there, get some momentum. Now, the cool thing about this is if you even make a $7 sale, $10 sale, whatever, it validates the process in your own mind. And all of a sudden you're like, okay, well, if I can make $10, I can make 100. If I can make 100, I can make 1,000. If I make 1,000, I can, make 20,000, whatever it is, right? So this is where it really does start becoming fun, because then you realize, okay, all this hard work, this whole thing that I'm going through, there's an end in sight. It's not just me doing all this weird stuff like engagement and, content, blah, blah, forever. Because fuck no one wants to get stuck doing that forever. Of course not. Like that's never the goal. The goal is to cut your teeth and hustle up and build that momentum and that credibility. And once you've got that, then it snowballs to an extent. So now you've provided value. You've got the credibility. And in your own mind, you're like, okay, I get it now. This is kind of cool. And so it's more feasible that you can then push that into a high ticket sale as well. And then eventually when it does, now I'm not simplifying this or not oversimplifying it. Yes, this is still frustrating, and you're going to have to go through a whole bunch of mindset stuff to get there for most of us again. But then the big sale drops of $1,000 commission or $2,000, whatever it is, and all of a sudden you feel like a king and or queen. And I know for myself, when this happened, I got really clear. And interestingly, it felt like the prior 6 or 7 years or 8 years, whatever the heck it was, that I'd been building up to this moment. It felt like that was just kind of like my learning curve. It was me kind of mucking around going, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm learning all this stuff. And, I don't really know how to glue it all together. But the actual process, once I became clear of, okay, this is what I need to do, and now I get how I can get in front of my audience and build that audience, that process only took 7 days. And I had my first $1,000 day, next one, next day, first 10K month, so on and so forth, right? So, but it validated that process for me. I was like, man, this is crazy. I'm like, I get it now. This is absolutely unbelievable. And so that's kind of the cool thing, because the confidence you feel from going, holy shit balls, I just took my social media profile that had nothing on it before. It was just like, cat videos and whatever. And I've now built a business around that, and I've built an audience, and I've connected with that audience, and I get along with a whole bunch of them, and I've made offers to them, and they're buying my stuff. Holy crap, I can do that. It's amazing. And so that there is super, super powerful. So then what you need to do is you need to leverage that momentum. And I think this is where a lot of people fall down as well, is you need to like throw it out there. And it's really hard, like especially, I don't know if this is something that's prevalent in the rest of the world, but in Australasia, we've got something called tall poppy syndrome. It's basically where if you poke your head up above the crowd, someone will lop it off. And that there is actually one of the mindset things we talk about in SAA a lot, which is, I guess, cutting out the noise or blocking out the noise. It's kind of like that thing of, the people closest to us, often they love us, they want the best for us, but they say some snarky shit sometimes. And you need to basically, get rid of that stuff, like get it out of your head at least anyway. And so you need to leverage that momentum and show it off. And you can do it in an eloquent way. It's not like bragging. You're not like, hey, look at me, it's made 30 grand. It's fucking amazing. It's more about like a sense of gratitude, a sense of, look, if I can, you can type stuff. And it builds upon that. Alrighty, what else we got? So the cool thing is, like I say, your belief system just it literally alters. Like it just you kind of go through this weird process, and those of you that have experienced that, you'll know what it is like. Almost tears of joy, depending on where your finances are, of course. But in my case, of tears of joy and gratitude, and just like I was really emotional when it started happening, because I understood, holy crap, I get this now. This is amazing. And it was super powerful. And so because that belief system has changed, you're like, okay, well, shit, if I can do one, I could probably do another one then. You know what? I can do, if I can do 1 grand, I can do 10 grand per month. If I can do 10, I can do 20 grand per month. Like, it changes, your psychology adjusts. So then all you need to do is just add water. No, just kidding. Just add automations and voila, world domination. Nice and easy. Just simple as that. All of a sudden you're dominating the world, and yep. Great. No, just kidding. You scale with ads, basically, if you choose to. You might not want to remain in the industry at that point because you might have felt like you've achieved enough. Once you got that momentum going and you start adding those funnels, you start adding, these things to the back end to start automating some of these processes, you might want to boost that up. We might want to head off and do other things. You then go and produce your own products. Is normally the thing. You get that credibility. You go out there and you find a problem that you can solve and you develop a product around that. Sometimes it doesn't necessarily need to be something completely new. It can be something that just supports another product or supports an angle within a product, things like that. And then, again, people overthink the shit out of this as well. Product development doesn't need to be that complex either, especially if you've got your own audience. Case in point being when we kicked off SAA, there was literally, this is November 2019 or late October, I think we started selling it. There was nothing, by the way. There was I think in my group, where some of you guys are watching this from, there was, I think, about 400-ish people. Don't quote me on that. I feel like it was about around that mark. I think Jacob had 2,000-ish, give or take. Again, don't quote me on the numbers. But relatively, what you would call small audiences right now. Obviously, Jacob's got a ton more credibility than myself, but between the two of us, we sold 40 beta spots for that, and there was nothing. There was no testimonials, there was no students, there was nothing at all. I just believed in the process, what had been explained to me, and I knew that it was going to be good. And conversely, the people that jumped in also believed that as well. So that's why I'm saying. And the reason why I'm saying this is the product development. Yeah, you can make it as complex as you like, but it's important to build an audience. It's important to get out there, and it can be as simple as, and I've done this in my group before. Hey, I'm going to put up a post, and I'm going to put an invoice out there, and that's it. That's my product. And I just throw those people into a private group, and then I turn it into an evergreen later on if I choose to. So it doesn't have to be super complex. A lot of people overthink that, but start building out these little assets along the way. Right, and then you just retire to your castle/winery and life will be good. That's it. That is the process. That is basically how a lot of us have gone through it and what I see. And hopefully some of you guys that are tuning in at the stage or tune in on the replay or whatever can start to see, if you're stuck in that initial phase where you're like, oh, how do I make this whole bloody thing work? You can start to see that there's a pathway to follow. You don't get stuck in that. You don't get stuck, doing all the stuff. You just got to cut your teeth at that stage. And like I say, it is the hardest part of the entire journey, which is why the attrition rate at that level is usually pretty high. So a lot of people just searching, I need the thing, I need, this isn't working, and it's the system, it's not me, all that sort of stuff as well. So anyway, hopefully that makes sense. I'm just going to jump back over to the old thingy there, see what we got. Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? Thank you very much for joining me. Any questions off the back of that? Did that make sense? Did that help at all? Completely. I won't even be that mad if it didn't. Just kidding. I will be very upset. No, I'm kidding again. What's up, Stuart? Quinn, how you doing? Renata Setiawan. Fancy seeing you here. Yeah, it's the hardest part to go through as well. Really is the hardest part, because you don't have there's none of that kind of, oh man, is this going to work? Am I going crazy? How are these people making these huge bloody screenshots? And it's sequential, right? It starts off small, you snowball one result into the next. A really good real life 8-figure case study is Dan Henry. He's just an absolute beast. He's probably the definition of leveraging momentum. And he started off just grinding it out, which was very, very impressive. I can't think of the name of it. It's that book from the old, from Bruno. What's it called? With the bloody, I don't know. It's 30 Experts or some shit like that. And it's got this thing from Dan Henry in there. And that's pretty awesome. Shows how he was able to kind of build his little empire, little to start with, off nothing. It was really impressive. And then obviously now he's, his buy-in to get into his stuff is like 10K as an entry point. So now he's selling super high ticket stuff, which is pretty cool. Anything you guys want me to cover while I'm here at all? thanks very much for joining me, everyone. If anyone's interested, I was contemplating putting together some free training. Basically, this is my biggest month, sitting at about 22, 23K at the moment. And I was going to put some training together to kind of help you guys out with some of the stuff, if you're interested. If not, then no stress. Right. Everyone's too shy. On that note, I'm going to bail. You guys are awesome. Thank you very much for joining me in the live here. Really appreciate it. Smash that heart button. Drop any comments, and I'll attend to those once we jump off. But hopefully that helps, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks very much.